Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Humberto Moreira. Humberto Moreira serves as the Principal Solutions Engineer at Gigster, a leading software development services company. He has over 15 years of experience in the software industry, including work at Cloudflare and InMobi. In his current role, Humberto focuses on identifying customer solution needs and transforming them into actionable plans to be fulfilled by Gigster's talent network of over 900 engineers. Humberto is an avid contributor to various publications on the subject of AI, data analytics, intelligent manufacturing, and IoT. Well, good afternoon, Humberto. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Love doing this. I tell my guests every day, this is the thing that gets me out of bed excited, and I actually do backflips some days when I have more than one podcast. But I appreciate you making the time, jumping on. And Humberto, we're going to jump right into your first question here. With over 15 years of experience in the software industry, including notable stints at Cloudflare and InMobi, how have you seen the industry evolve, particularly in areas of AI, data analytics, and IoT? And what has been your role in this evolution?
Great question. I think over this time, there's been a number of trends that have been key. One is that there's a lot of data, and there's more data than ever. And I think that's been very much the case over the past 15 plus years. Lots more data coming from many devices and many customer touch points. So working with companies that are able to capture this data, being able to leverage it, has been quite enlightening. And at the same time, over the course of these years, the policies, the different aspects around privacy have been shifting. And so there's been movement around that. And just as over time, there's been more ability to capture data regarding things like geolocation, consumer signals, all of that has been increasing. And with AI and with advanced analytics, there's more of an ability to make sense of that than ever before. And as far as my role in all of it, I've been working with companies on helping them realize the art of the possible in all of this, and helping companies see, well, what does their data systems and data layers need to look like to be able to make the most out of all this.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We have seen obviously an incredible evolution of the technology in the last 15 years, but sometimes it just really pivots and goes a different direction. And sometimes it can surprise us, but we have to be flexible with that, because at the end of the day, it's a consumer demand or a problem we're trying to solve. So I appreciate your insights and your involvement in some of these technologies as they evolve. And Humberto, you've contributed extensively to discussions on AI, data analytics, intelligent manufacturing, IoT. How do you see these technologies impacting software development and business solutions today? And what future trends do you anticipate?
Yeah, great question. So more and more we see analytics and the expectation of the use of data to be built into software from the ground up. So in the past, I think there was more of companies realizing that they could use data and having to go backwards and see, well, what data do I have? How do I need to transform it to actually make use of it? And more we see companies saying, okay, I know that if I'm building a new system, I need to make sure that it's data ready and AI ready from the ground up. So that's one of the key factors in going forward. There's a growing realization that software needs to be built a little bit differently, and data needs to be prepared a little bit differently so that it can be best leveraged with new technologies and new analytics and AI and machine learning. And companies are realizing that partly this involves breaking down silos and having sometimes data systems that go across the enterprise in new ways that they may not have considered before.
Thank you. And you're 100% right on that. A lot of times, it's not the talent, it's not the platform, the technology, but sometimes it's just inner communication and breaking down the silos to allow for some free flow of information, because great ideas in a team environment work much better than in a individual environment or a small team environment. So I appreciate the share. And Humberto, can you share how today's brands can meet the consumer demand for personalization and customization of AI?
Certainly, certainly. So AI presents some interesting possibilities to enhance personalization in some new ways. And to be ready to really leverage it, one of the things that really brands and companies need to do is be very aware of what the signals and the touch points that they have with customers are. Sometimes this might be, points of sale. Sometimes these might be websites. Sometimes this might be things like social and communities. And to be able to have that data really listened to and ingested is really important, because it is much better to be able to anticipate where customers' needs might be in the future and be prepared for them than to having to play catch up. Right. So one of the key things is look at leading indicators about where customer trends are going, what are customers doing, and based on that, will allow brands and companies to really have better offerings prepared so that customization feels more natural. That when a consumer goes out and looks at the offerings that a brand or a company has, it resonates with them. And then even if there's some additional level of customization built on top of that, the underlying offerings already feel natural. It already feels to consumers like what was being put on display or what's being made available or surfaced to them already resonates with what they like based on what they've already manifested based on their behavior. And another really, really good factor that's available now is the ability to test and try new things sometimes in small batches. One of the things that's available now is the ability to do A/B testing with let's say a new offering in a limited market, and be able to use the information from that to inform whether a new offering will be successful. So that is also very important. And finally, the ability to blend digital and physical together in combined offerings or bundles is also very important, because with digital naturally lends itself to personalization. And if brands are able to, let's say, starting from a digital offering, blend that together with something tangible that consumers can have, that really bridges both worlds and allows the consumer, the customer, to feel that something can be made just for them in a sense, and that they also have a tangible connection to it.
Thank you. And you really unpacked that for us, which is very, very helpful. We appreciate that. As you know, machine learning and AI can help bridge that gap and be more efficient, especially when you have new people coming in this space to try and, get that sale or try to get somebody to make a decision online sometimes. And when you have the human factor, which is, like I said, not discounting that, but AI has certainly brought some efficiencies to that, because it's already learned people's behaviors, especially the people that are currently interacting online. So I appreciate the share. And Humberto, last question of the day. Intelligent manufacturing is a field where AI, IoT, and data analytics converge. Based on your experience, what innovations do you foresee in the next 5 to 10 years that could revolutionize the industry?
Great question. So over the next 5 to 10 years, I think we can foresee a future in which data really flows seamlessly across supply chains in a way that allows them to adapt intelligently to both demand as well as supply. So we can imagine a world where AI is pervasive, not only as far as some centralized AI engine, but even at the edge and maybe even across certain parts of production processes within manufacturing, right? So we can imagine that there will be more of what I was mentioning as a combination of physical and digital bundles that are able to react to consumer needs in a more dynamic fashion. So, for example, let's say we had the Super Bowl recently, and depending on the outcome of that, there could be a lot of customized products that end up being manufactured almost in a just-in-time manner. So I think we will see more of that, and we will see more of really custom products that are able to be generated in reaction to very short-term customer demand. And I think we have to think the industry is going to be getting ready for a world where everyone is being made smarter by AI, including consumers, including producers and manufacturers. So in a world where everybody gets smarter and everybody gets something more customized, the bar is going to keep getting higher for across the board, across industry. And I think everybody will be able to leverage data to generate these new products and these new services, but the bar is going to keep getting higher, and that's going to be ultimately be good for consumers as well.
Thank you. It kind of reminds me, if you recall back in, last 20, 30 years anyway, where it was a hardware software leapfrog, right? And here we're seeing a little bit of that with AI, and where does that put the human in this equation, right? And there's going to be some leap to get this right. And obviously you can throw all kinds of ethical questions and privacy and all those things in there as well while we do this. But I appreciate the insights, Humberto, very much so. And it was such a pleasure having you on today. And I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Likewise. Thank you so much, Brian.
Bye for now.